So tonight's class, I kind of put some feelers out to somebody who was signed up. I'm like, what do you want to do tonight? And they were like, I want to focus on kind of stirring the pot, bringing things up, burning it away, so that our actions can align more with our dharma. And I'm like, okay, cool, we'll do that. We'll do that. It's funny. The further we get along in yoga, like I feel like the more esoteric the requests become, and I love it. I absolutely love it because it's not just like my hips are sore and I want to work on those. It's like I want to find my my way to the purpose of life, and so that's what dharma means. It's what you're here to do on this planet in this incarnation. And what yoga generally helps us to do is get more aligned with that purpose. And it's okay if you don't know what that is tonight. That's a whole other topic. But do know that anytime we're doing self work, that we're going inward and we're watching our thoughts, we're watching our body, and we're really bringing ourselves into harmony, we're starting to align ourselves with that path. If you personally ever want to have a conversation about your personal dharma, let me know. We can set up a time to chat. But just know that the work we do tonight is going to be helping you kind of like guide you toward your purpose. And what keeps us from our purpose in the chakra model of the mind is the lower triangle. So the root chakra, the sex center, and the navel center. When those come out of balance, we feel unstable, we feel insecure, and we feel weak, and we feel like we're being cowards, or we feel like we don't have the courage to do the things that we need to do to step onto the path that we need to step on. And so this idea of stirring the pot is actually about stirring up the first three energy centers, bringing up some stuff that might be uncomfortable, whether it's emotions or memories or false beliefs about ourselves, thoughts that are not helpful, and then transforming them. And so to put that into context for tonight's class, what we'll be doing is mostly, especially at the beginning, Kundalini yoga, which is all about burning up those impressions in the first three energy centers. And so we'll stir the pot. Literally, we're actually going to move around the tailbone a bunch. And then we're going to call in some digestive fire to help us really transform those thoughts, transform those beliefs, those tendencies, so that we can move into the spaces of the higher energy centers, like the heart, the space of compassion, the throat, the expression of truth, and of course, the third eye, the knowledge of wisdom, the ability to be led by wisdom. So if that's esoteric, leave it at the door. You're going to have a great class regardless. But if you're looking for the deeper meaning behind what we do, that's going to be our intention for tonight. Okay? All right, so go ahead and sit tall and we'll get nice and centered. Get into this Dharma practice. It's going to be great. So go ahead and relax your shoulders down your back. Feel the crown of the head lift toward the ceiling. And take a deep breath in and out. And as your breath settles, just notice if there's any thoughts that came up as I was talking about Dharma and what's in the way of living your truth and living your purpose. Were there any fears, any concerns? Maybe it was a impulse to turn off the class and go watch TV. And just let those tendencies, or like just reassure yourself that we're not going to be blindly stepping into any danger here. That while I'm talking about transformation and living purpose, all of this is an invitation toward an idea. That you can take what's useful and leave what isn't. And that even with the people we have in this class today or tonight, there's different people on different paths, and they're different spots on their paths. So we'll all take something different from this experience. Just know that you're not behind and you're not going too far. Maybe you feel the abdomen relax a little bit as you kind of touch into the fact that there are no expectations here. And before we come out of this centering, I just want to call in compassion, some feeling of heart, because whatever comes up tonight, whatever comes up in this practice for you, if anything does, that we don't meet it with judgment or criticism or even preference, that we meet it with love, we meet it with compassion. Because each of these tendencies, even the ones that feel like they're holding us back, are protecting us somehow. But they might not know that they don't have to do that job. And so we meet them with compassion. We meet them with love. So letting that be our intention, bringing stuff up, transforming it, and meeting it with love. Let's chant Om 3 times. Deep breath in. Bring your palms to your heart and lower the chin. Honor yourself as you are in this moment, body, breath, energetic state of mind, and honoring the one who is doing the honoring. Go ahead and rub the palms together, creating heat. And take your heated palms over the eyes, and brushing back over the top of the head, down the neck, bringing yourself back to your room, back to the space. Okay, so we're going to stay seated for a while. So I might interject some like leg stretches into these practices just so that we don't feel too uncomfortable because we're just getting started. So from where you're at, go ahead and extend your legs forward. If you want to stay sitting on a cushion or a blanket, you can. I was sitting on 2 blankets and now I'm sitting on 1. And just patter the legs against the floor. Just get some circulation back into the legs. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Let that looseness of the legs go all the way up into the hip joint. Patter the feet again, or the legs, I should say. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Good, now our legs are all tingly. We can bring them back into cross legs. Okay, so for this first technique, I'm going to ask you to keep your spine as tall or straight or erect as possible. And we will be folding, we will be moving from side to side, but as we do so, there's no rounding of the spine in either direction or any direction. The spine moves 360. So you want to try to keep that straight as possible. Now there will be slight movement down at the lower back and in the sacrum, but generally speaking, the spine stays stiff as a stick, okay? You're gonna have your hands on top of your knees. Good. And then go ahead and lean to a side, keep the hip grounded, and then go ahead and circle forward and go to the other side. And you're gonna circle back, but only go back as far as you can without falling. And then go back to the first side, and we'll just start making circles here. It doesn't matter which way you started moving. And try to keep the spine as straight as possible. Again, there'll be some folding near the lower back, and that's completely fine. But it's almost like your tailbone is the tip of a spinning top, and your spine is just rolling around on that single point. Another way to think about it, if you need another analogy, is that the top of your head is the tip of a pencil, and you're just drawing big circles on the ceiling with that pencil. Now, as you're rolling around on the tailbone here, you might sense the hips popping up a little bit, and that's fine, but do try to keep them as grounded to the floor as possible. Spinning around. You might notice the core has to be engaged here to really keep the spine tall or flat or stiff as a stick. And do make sure you're breathing. I haven't really instructed any breathing, but you want to make sure that you are, in fact, breathing. Good. So we've been going in one direction here. Please switch directions. Same idea. Tip of the tailbone is the bottom tip of a spinning top, and you're just the top itself rolling around on that axis. The spine staying relatively flat. Breathing. Going for just a little bit longer. You're doing great. I can't really see you doing it, but I can just sense that you're doing great. You might even start to feel some heat building in the body. That's kind of that stirring the pot metaphor I used earlier. And we kind of are stirring a literal pot, the pelvic floor, the pelvic bowl. Just the spine is kind of just a spoon in there, just starting to move things around a bit, getting them unstuck so that we can work with whatever comes up as it comes up. And then go ahead and spin that top to a tall seat. And just stop for a moment, notice sensation. Some things you might be sensing is a sense of groundedness, really aware of your seat on the ground. You might have started to feel something building in the pelvic bowl, maybe the abdomen. If there's any existing tension in your spine, you're probably aware of that as well. We'll work with that, don't worry. Good. Now bring your awareness back. So now we're going to do what you probably wanted to do in that last exercise, which is really articulate through the spine, okay? So we're going to start off with some smaller movements, and then we're going to start to really snake the spine around a lot. And again, it's coaxing that stuff out of the pelvis, out of those first three energy centers, and up toward the navel center. We can start to build the fire here in a few minutes, okay? So hands on the knees. And actually, before we start, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. We're gonna switch the cross of the legs. So that I am assuming you're in your habitual cross. Whatever leg is on top, go ahead and bring that on bottom. Whatever leg's behind you, bring it forward. It'll feel awkward, and that's how you know you're doing it right. And this will also help to provide balance in your hips. All right, now we're good. Good. So become aware of the tip of your tailbone and just start to move it around a little bit as best you can. It's very subtle. And with this idea of the tip of the tailbone here, just kind of stirring down in the pelvis. We're starting to get into that first energy center, Muladhara, the root chakra, connecting you to a sense of security, food, shelter, water, safety, or lack thereof. And allow the movement to kind of move up toward your waistband. Really starting to engage into the second energy center, Svadhisthana. It's a center of preference, or sometimes called the sex center, the point or region of primal creativity. Kind of like heat rising, we'll start to move that movement up a little bit more to the region of the navel. So the back is starting to sway a little bit more forward and back, rotating around. And breathe. The tailbone is still moving. You're still moving around the waist. The belly is still moving forward and back in rotation. Again, like we're coaxing that energy upward. Start to add the chest. Moving around. If you haven't taken a deep breath in a while, take a deep breath. This might start to feel a little dancey. If that works for you, let it. Again, like heat rising, we'll add the shoulders, which is starting to activate the throat. Of course, when we were doing the chest, we were activating the heart center, that compassion, love, acceptance, space, openness. And the throat is the expression of that truth. We're going to keep the heat rising, start to move the head around. The whole spine is moving, circular, gyrating. Again, the third eye is the center of wisdom, right knowing, the synthesis of knowledge. So not just knowledge itself, but the understanding of knowledge. And if you haven't already let loose with the crown of the head, go ahead and do so. Rolling around. It's nice too that even some of the more esoteric principles of this practice aside, this is a nice spine warm up. Take a deep breath. Good. Now we're going to start to reel it back in a bit. And so we're only going to be rotating in this one direction, but do start to lessen the movement of the head. Throat and shoulders are still moving, but the head starts to become still again. And then slow down the movement of the shoulders. The heart is still moving forward and back, rotating. Then start to still the heart. Just feeling the movement around the navel, second center, first center. Start to still the navel. You start to feel that more subtle churning in the pelvis. Start to relax the lower back a little bit. And again, it's just that little point at the tip of the tailbone kind of stirring with the floor. And then be still. Aware of sensation, heat. It's likely going to be heat building in the lower energy centers, the lower regions of your body. And then take a deeper breath, bring yourself back. Whew. We haven't done much, but we've done a lot already. So go ahead and extend your legs forward. We're going to patter them against the floor again. Uncramp them, move them from side to side. Just take care of the body here. Just because we're doing deep work doesn't mean we have to forget about the body. Good, good. All right. So from here, we're going to come to sit on our heels. So I'm going to sit on a block. I have to go out of frame to grab. But if you have a yoga block, you can sit on this. Basically, you sit it between your feet and you just prop yourself up on top of it. Or you can do the block and a blanket, which is super comfortable. If you don't have a block, you can just sit on the heels if that's comfortable for you. And at the end of the day, if sitting on your heels is just not a thing, come back to cross legs, okay? So it wouldn't be a class focusing on Kundalini yoga if we didn't do Kapalabhati, the breath of fire. So this is a quick exhale through the nose, and the inhale is instantaneous. Many of you, if not all of you, have done this with me before. It's like blowing out a candle. If you had a candle in front of you, just and then the inhale, you don't even think about it. The breath itself is done through the nose, and the movement comes from the belly. If you try to do this breath from the chest, you'll start to hyperventilate and you'll start to get lightheaded. So try to be pumping from the abdomen, belly forced back, belly relaxing, inhale. Okay, we're gonna do several rounds. Just relax the hands and the thighs for this first round. Good. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. We'll begin. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath in at the top of the inhale. As you hold the breath in, see light in the brain, see energy or light in the navel. Then exhale softly. Good. We're going to practice that again, and we're going to bring our hands into a specific mudra or gesture. And so with your arms extended out, relax the shoulders. And you're going to curl in the fingers to kind of press into the palms, the thumbs extending, okay? It's almost like these are like energy antennas. We're like drawing in prana or energy through these little antennas we got up here, down toward the navel as we practice Kapalabhati, all right? So arms up, shoulders relaxed, deep breath in. Let's begin. Take a deep breath in, bring the thumbs together, hold the breath in. See light in the brain, light at the navel. Sip a little bit more breath in, keep retaining. And this time as you exhale, release the arms down and fold forward into about a child's pose. Then inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, come back up to a seat. Good. Relax the shoulders, keep the arms up. We're going to do one more round. There's going to be a little bit more at the end, all right? So take a deep breath in. We'll go for about a minute this time. Begin. 30 more seconds. Inhale, bring the thumbs together, hold the breath in. Keep holding. Sip a little bit more breath in, keep retaining. Keep retaining, you're almost there. Exhale, release the arms down, fold forward, child's pose. If you can, hold the breath out. If you can't, just breathe normally. Stay in the fold. Okay, go ahead and inhale, sit back up, reach the arms overhead. Stay seated, release the arms down. And feel sensation. We have started to build fire at the navel center. It's a seat of fire, spiritual fire in the body. So all that stuff we were kind of stirring up earlier, it's starting to enter into this space. Continuing to coax that energy up the spine. So we've worked with the lower energy centers. We've just done Kapalabhati for the navel. We'll keep working with those regions, but we want to start to get more up into the chest, all right? So go ahead and bring your hands on tops of your shoulders, forefingers in front, thumbs behind you. And this will start off slow, and then we're going to pick up the pace as we move along, all right? So with your inhale, go ahead and twist to your right, look behind you. And then exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, twist to your left. Keep going. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Try to keep your upper arms parallel to the floor here the entire time. It's almost like there's weights on the ends of your elbows, just kind of swinging along here. In right, out left, in right, out left. The upper back, you want to feel the navel pull into the body and twist with you. Now that we got the movement down, let's pick up the pace. Go twice as fast. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In right, out left. In right, out left. In right, out left. In right, out left. It's almost like Kapalabhati. It's almost like the breath of fire. What happens if you go twice as fast again? In, out, right, left, right, left. Start to slow it down. In, out, in, out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to center and relax the arms. Keep the eyes closed for a moment. You might be dizzy. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Exhale, fold forward, child's pose. If you can, hold the breath out. If not, breathe normally. And then inhale, sit up. And exhale here. Whew, building energy. You can already feel it just kind of rising up the spine. And we do have one more exercise to do here. Before we do so, let's take care of ourselves. If you're sitting on a prop, a blanket, or a block, just move it out to the side and we'll come into downward facing dog just to stretch out the legs. And try to breathe just through your nose right now. If you breathe through your mouth, some of that building of energy actually releases. So if you can, breathe through the nose. Good. Then inhale, float down onto hands and knees and sit back on the heels for our next practice. Bring any props where you need them again. So this next one is a lot like the last one. And actually, I'll turn sideways so you can see what's happening. This is spinal flexing. And just like the last exercise, it's going to start off slow and we'll pick up the pace as we go along, okay? So go ahead and take the hands onto the shoulders just like before, 4 fingers in front, thumbs behind. So to get the movement in our bodies with the breath, actually, I want to say one thing first, sorry. We're going to be flexing back and forward, and I want you to know that it's not happening in your lower back. I actually want you to engage the core and try to keep the lower body pretty steady so that the movement is happening in the upper back and in the upper chest. So it'll be flexing like this instead of flexing like throwing your back out, okay? If you start to notice a lot of like leaning and really wrenching into your lower back, either slow down or firm up, okay? So hands on top of the shoulders, starting slow. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, open the heart toward the ceiling. Exhale, round down, forward, open the upper back and bring the elbows toward one another. Then inhale, open up again, and exhale, round forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep going. Really feeling some movement in the mid back, upper back, shoulder blades, some flexibility around the rib cage at the sternum. Yes, that's flexible if you move it enough. Good. So getting this movement into our bodies. You guessed it. Double time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now, especially because we just did the last exercise, you might start feeling fatigued here pretty quickly. And I want you to keep going. Fatigue is just discomfort here. There's no danger to shy away from. You just kind of have to burn with it. That's kind of the point with this idea of transforming these beliefs, these tendencies, these habits, is that we have to kind of stay in the fire as it burns. You guessed it, we're gonna go even faster. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let it burn. Really go for it. Stand in the fire, you're almost there. Start to slow it down. Like a pendulum coming to a steady point at its center, go ahead and be tall in your spine and release your arms. Feel sensation, clarity of mind, strength of pelvis and core. Maybe some newfound fluidity in the upper back and chest. Maybe a clearing of the lungs. What do you feel emotionally? Is there a feeling of emotion? Take a deep breath in, hold at the top. Exhale, bow forward. Again, if you can, hold the breath out. If not, breathe softly through the nose. Inhale, sit up. And exhale here. Deep breath in and out. And bring yourself back. Good. All right. Downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. Take a drink of water if you need one. And towel off any sweat if you need to. And take care of yourself here in down dog. If you're feeling kind of like the legs are crunching up, just walk it out. Press a heel to the floor, bend the opposite knee. Good. So from downward facing dog, go ahead and come into plank pose. Stay in plank. Feel the shoulders move down the back. Core is nice and strong. Steady your breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press back. Good. Inhale into plank pose. Bend your elbows in toward your waist. Plank yourself 1 inch from the ground, chaturanga. And then press the arms straight. Come onto the tops of the feet, knees lift, shoulders back, upward facing dog. And then feel a tug behind your navel that pulls you back into downward facing dog. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, 1 inch from the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more times, plank pose. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward dog. 1 more time. Plank to the earth. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. All right. So go ahead and walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into Uttanasana. Standing forward, fold. Press palms to shins. Come halfway up here, heart parallel to the floor. And then exhale, fold down. Soften the knees slightly, slightly bend the knees, and interlace your fingers at your lower back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the arms off the back and overhead. Deep breaths. right, go ahead and release the hands to the floor. Press palms to shins again, come halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up. Reach the arms overhead and palms to the heart. Take an adjusting breath. All right. Finally coming up to standing, 45 minutes in. We've done a lot. I'm like, man, there's like sweat all over my mat from those first few exercises. Towel off if you need to. We're gonna do another Kundalini technique. You guys know this one probably pretty well. I do it a lot, and it's arm swings. And the version that we'll do tonight is where we drop the body and swing the arms behind us. So I'll walk you through the first few steps, and then you can join me, okay? So the feet will stack underneath the hips. It's a three-part inhale through the nose, one powerful exhale out of the mouth with the movement. So it'll be inhale, arms up, inhale, arms back, inhale up, exhale, bend the knees, drop the body, sweep behind you, inhale, come up for the next round. And we'll just keep going for about 2 minutes, okay? And you can go slowly, you can go quickly, and I'll coach you along the way, okay? So when you're ready, inhale, arms up, inhale back, inhale up, exhale, bend the knees, drop, sweep. Inhale up, inhale back, inhale, exhale. Inhaling through the nose, three-part inhale, powerful exhale out of the mouth. Clear your respiratory system, clear the lungs. Let go of any stale, toxic air, the base portion of the lungs, almost like a wheeze with that exhale. Really let it out, really let it out. Keep going. Try to feel the full rotation of your shoulder joints, up, and back. Good. Now, as you keep going, there's this movement that we're doing where we're dropping the body and we're sweeping the arms behind us. This is a gesture of letting go, about dropping off whatever is not serving us. So some of those thoughts and beliefs, whether we could intellectually connect to them earlier or whether they were more abstract, see or sense that flying off the body, back into the earth, back onto the floor. Keep going. Maybe some emotion comes up, that's fine. Maybe not, doesn't have to. 'A little bit longer, keep going. The inhale is drawing up that energy from the base of the pelvis toward the heart and throat. Three, two, and one. Come back up. Feel sensation. Stay inward if you can. Notice your breath rate and your heart rate, but also notice the energy building, heat rising, coaxing it up the spine. That exercise helping to clear out the lungs and creating space around our energetic heart center, Anahata, as it's called. place of love, a place of peace. Take a deep breath in, sweep the arms overhead, hold the breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Hold the breath out if you can, if not, just breathe normally. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the side, come all the way up. And palms to the heart. Calling in that heart energy. Again, we don't want to face any of our stuff down there without having the presence of compassion. It's easy to judge our flaws. It's easy to judge some of these beliefs that we've been carrying with us for so long, and they don't deserve that. Even in the letting go and the transformation of them, they deserve compassion. So we're bringing that in for it, okay? So to help that, we're gonna do a little bit more work for the heart. So go ahead and bring the feet to stack underneath your hips. Bring your hands, how do we want to do this? Let's bring the arms overhead, okay? Kind of going with it as we go along. So reach the arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, drop down into chair pose. Good, now stay in chair. Inhale, take the arms wide. Exhale, reach the arms forward, chest parallel to the floor, keep the knees bent. Inhale, take the arms wide again. Look up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, take them wide. Exhale, reach. A couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, take the arms wide. Stay here for the exhale. And inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, and bring the palms to the heart. Good, good. All right. So go ahead and take the feet wide on your mat. Nice wide leg stance. Good, and for this one, we're gonna have the feet pointing directly forward instead of splaying out to the side. We're gonna directly forward. And take your arms out to the side. Good, take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, bend your left knee, bring your right hand down in front of the foot, and sweep your left arm into the air to twist. Inhale, come all the way back up, and then we'll do the other side. Bend your right knee, bring your left hand down in front of the foot, twist. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend the left knee, plant the right hand, twist. Inhale, back up, and then exhale, second side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, first side. Inhale up, and exhale, second side. And up. Let's do one more time on each side, just kind of getting used to these twists. Inhale, and exhale, second side. Inhale, back up, and release. All right, so from this stance, go ahead and point your right foot forward and have your left foot, your back foot, flat on the floor, toes pointing out to the side. This is a warrior two stance. This is a really wide stance of the feet so that when you bend the right knee deeply, or the front knee, whatever knee's front, that the knee comes to stack over the heel and the thigh is just about parallel to the floor. So it's a really wide stance, okay? So take the arms out to the side, over the legs, turn the palms toward the ceiling, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee, sink down in. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend the right knee, sink on in. Inhale up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, rise. And this front knee is guiding out toward its own middle toe. So make sure that that's happening. Inhale up. A couple more times. Inhale up. And exhale, sink on in. Inhale up and relax. Watch this next part before we get into it. You may need a block or a stack of books or something whatever you're using, if you need it at all, you'll bring it to the inside of your right foot. Now, if you don't have it, you'll just go as far into the pose as you can without the prop. Good. So just watch me. I'm going to take my arms out to the side like before. I'm going to take a deep breath in. With my exhale, I'm going to twist my body to face forward. And then I'm going to keep twisting, take my right arm back, plant the left hand down next to the right foot, and then twist into revolved triangle. Okay? And then we'll come back out and we'll go in and out about 3 times, and then we're going to hold the pose. This is why we did that twisting in the last exercise. So if you know you need a prop, bring it there. If not, we'll make do, okay? If anything, the arm can come onto the leg, or you can have the hand out to the side. So arms out to the side, take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist to look forward, keep going, plant the left hand and sweep the right arm into the air. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, twist. Inhale all the way back up. Last time we're gonna hold, okay? Go ahead and twist in and stay. So a couple of adjustments here to stay in the pose. First, if it's too much to have the right hand in the air, take it onto your hip and work the right shoulder back, looking up if you can. Think about wrapping your left chest more towards your right thigh. And while the right leg is still straight, it's okay if it's bending slightly. Think about back bending with your upper back. Stay, breathe. Last deep breath. And then with the arms out to the side, inhale, come all the way back up, unwind, and release. Good. All right, so to do the other side, all you have to do is switch the angles of your feet. So right toes point forward, left toes point in the other direction, and you're about set up for the other side. So take the arms out to the side, inhale, turn the palms up. Exhale, bend your left knee, sink on in, check your stance. You might need to widen. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, twist, or sorry, sink in. Getting ahead of myself. Inhale, back up. Exhale, sink on in, warrior 2. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Inhale up, let's do one more. Sink on in. And inhale, back up. If you know you need a prop for this twist, go ahead and bring it to the inside of the left foot now. All right, we're gonna move right into it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist to look over the left leg, bring the right hand down to the floor, and then sweep the left arm into the air. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, twist again, plant the right hand, roll the left shoulder back, twist. Inhale, back up. This time we hold, all right? Go ahead and twist into the posture. And stay. Again, if it's too much to have the left arm in the air, just bring it onto the hip. And roll the left shoulder back. Think about wrapping the right chest toward the left leg. And think about back bending with your upper back. There's a lot going on here. Last breath. Inhale, come all the way up, arms out to the side. Turn the feet parallel. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up. Hold the breath in. Feel energy shooting up from the base of the body, from the root chakra, all the way up through the spine, through the crown of the head, through the palms. Exhale, bow to that. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side again. Hold the breath in at the top. Energy ascending. Exhale, bowing. Third time's a charm. Inhale, come back up. Hold in. Exhale, release. Stay tall. Release the arms. All right. Stay hydrated, y'all. Okay, so go ahead and cut your heels inward so the toes point outward, about 45 degrees. Have your hands onto your hips, just so we can get steady for this one. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees out toward the toes. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, come back up. Exhale in. Inhale out. So let me show you what we'll do. I'm into demonstrating tonight, apparently. Just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into before you get there. In a moment, we're going to come back down into the squat. I'm going to have you place your right hand on top of your left and just hang it in front of you, okay? And this will be creating kind of a symbology to the bowl of the pelvis, kind of the kumbha, as we call it in yoga, the container for fire. And while we're here, we're going to practice Kapalabhati for a bit, maybe close to a minute. And then we're going to do some breath holding at the top when we're done, all the while staying in the squat. It's going to burn a little bit. It's going to be a little bit sticky. And I want you to do your best to stay with it. Know the difference between what is uncomfortable and what feels dangerous. Kind of a spoiler, nothing's really dangerous here. So check yourself before you try to run away from a posture, in this case. So left hand, then right hand on top of it, kind of just relax. Exhale, sink down into Goddess pose, kind of honoring that Earth Mother here. Good. Now feel the pelvic floor pull upward. You might even feel a contraction down there of some muscles. Maybe the lower abdomen pulls inward. And let's practice Kapalabhati. Breath of fire, deep breath in. Deep breath in, stay in the pose. Hold the breath in at the top of the inhale. See a flame at the navel resting inside of this bowl. And see the heat from this flame purified by the heart. Stay in the pose. Exhale, bring your awareness to the space of the heart. Staying in the pose, take a deep breath in. Hold the breath in, and as you hold the breath in, it's like you're drawing that transformational fire upward, purifying it in the light of the heart, in the space of the heart. Because fire needs that air to be able to burn. Exhale, awareness to heart. We're gonna do it one more time. Stay in the pose, keep the knees bending, keep holding onto that bowl. Deep breath in. Flame drawing upward to the heart. Compassion for that flame, compassion for everything that is burning, everything that's transforming, everything you're experiencing in this moment. Compassion for all of that. Exhale to the heart. And inhale, straighten the legs. Turn the feet parallel. And then still holding onto that bowl, hinge at the hips, and just place it on the floor and fold down. Breathe softly here through your nose, keeping that energy contained, that prana, that fire burning in the navel, that compassion, that boundless compassion of the heart. Right, so from here, go ahead and come halfway up. And whichever way you need to turn toward the top of your mat and step back to downward facing dog. Then floating down onto hands and knees, child's pose. And then come back on up. And this may feel a little bit abrupt, but we're going to actually transition right into Shavasana from here. We're in the ripe state to kind of bring ourselves down to the ground. By all means, if there's something your body needs before you come to Shavasana, go ahead and honor that right now, but do make your way there. Coming back onto your back. Take your time getting there. But when you do get onto your back, whenever that is, have your heels about mat width apart, your arms jutting out to your sides, palms face up, shoulders down the back, jaw is soft, face is soft. And as you relax here, as you let go, attune to this ascending quality or energetic state. So there's some energy kind of maybe circulating in the region of your pelvis. Feel that moving upward, like water pouring up your spine toward the navel. And as that water, to continue the metaphor, as that water pours toward that fire at the navel, the fire doesn't go out. The fire burns brighter. And all that is carried with that water, all the waste, those tendencies that aren't serving us, those behaviors, those beliefs, those thoughts, those things keeping us from our dharma, those obstacles, see those transform in the fire. Burning bright, burning radiant, courageous, brilliant light. And the heat from that fire rising toward the heart, compassion for that fire, for everything that is coming out of it, all the transformation, all of the reassociations. It's love. It's like a proud mother watching a child who's learning something new or conquering a fear. Love for that fire, love for the transformation taking place. Peace, peace, peace. Take a deeper, fuller breath, please. Make some gentle movements in your body, the hands, the feet, your arms and legs. Maybe stretch out a bit as you roll to your right side. Carefully bringing yourself up to a seat as you feel complete here. And bring your hands back into this, what I'll call it a Kumbha Mudra. So left hand and then right hand in front of it, as if you're holding a bowl in front of your belly. And so what we're doing here is we're just holding the container of the pelvic floor, the first two energy centers. Feelings of safety or lack thereof, feelings of creativity and preference or lack thereof, all rising toward that fire. And feel this region of the body between the fire and downward. Feel it clear, feel it spacious, allowing that dormant potential. It's what actually is Kundalini in yoga, allowing that dormant potential to rise past those blocks because they're not there anymore, to the fire. And it's at the fire where this rising energy can really transform into your potential. And as it's transformed at the navel center in that fire, it moves to the heart, where we can compassionately bring that purpose forward. And it might not be something that fits into a paradigm that you are yet comfortable with, because sometimes it exists outside of our capitalistic Western culture. And you might only have a hint of what it is: to serve, to help. How that happens to be determined. But keeping that clear, then you can express it through the throat. And the true discernment and knowledge of that comes from that witnessing consciousness at the third eye. Let this practice tonight be in service of that ascension, that uplifting. Let it be in service of your own evolution, spiritually, psychologically, energetically, and physically. So bringing your palms to your heart, bow the chin, honoring your path, wherever you are, whether you're right at the beginning or you've been in it for years. Honor where you're at in your path. And may all of the work you've done here tonight and all these different levels, may this practice continue to serve you in staying in that endeavor. So until we meet again, namaste.